Y'all, what is up YouTube? This is Kyan Cannon from Arguably Georgia Sports, and we're coming out with our third video of the day.
And is this gonna be a fun one?
We're gonna talk about our conference championship predictions, and then do our Final Four. We're gonna do two Final Fours. One of them is like crazy scenarios.
It's just like upsets all over teams that are one or two games away from winning one.
Exactly, and then one that's real, like
one that we actually believe.
think. Yeah. All right, so let's get right into it. Let's start with the conference championships.
All right, let's start with I guess the SEC.
The SEC. This is my most lopsided one. I have Alabama beating South Carolina 52-13.
Okay then. Yeah, I've got Alabama, Georgia, and I have Georgia winning. But I just want to say this: I have two possible scenarios for Georgia. One is they lose early to South Carolina and then lose another game late in the season. Or they don't lose to South Carolina, maybe lose another random game, I don't really know, but just lose one, and then make it to the SEC championship, and then win that. Because I think if they make it, they're going to win it. But so I think Georgia, if they make it, they will win, and I think that's more likely. So I'm picking Georgia over Alabama.
Okay, and then
ACC.
I have Clemson beating Virginia Tech 35-24.
I'm saying 34-14, but
all right. And the Big Ten.
Big Ten, I have Wisconsin over Penn State at like 31-24.
I have Wisconsin over Ohio State 27-24. The reason I say this is because Urban Meyer's only gone for one Big Ten game, and that's against Rutgers, and that should be an easy win. The biggest game he's away from is against TCU, but that's not a conference game, so that won't hurt them. Even if they lose, it won't hurt them in this landscape.
But he can still coach during the week for those games, just not on the field.
All right. Wonder if they're gonna like have him radio win somehow. That's
will.
probably not legal, is it?
No, definitely not.
All right.
And then they're gonna have Oklahoma against my
Big 12.
Big 12 is Oklahoma against TCU. I'm picking TCU this year. No Baker Mayfield. I think it's gonna be a little bit harder. I'm not saying they're not gonna be good. Kyler Murray's gonna be okay, but I'm picking TCU.
I have Oklahoma and West Virginia.
Interesting. Will Grier.
If they can get over that hump and they can put together a streak,
it's all up to Will Grier.
In a very weak conference. And I have West Virginia winning this game in a shootout, 45-41.
Yeah. I think we probably both have the same thing for the Pac-12.
I have
Washington is USC, and I have Washington winning.
I have Washington winning 28-27. Super.
Okay then.
It's gonna be a thriller.
Blocked extra point.
Sure, why not?
All right.
Or missed 2-point conversion for the win.
So, my actual Final Four is what I think is going to happen is going to be after the SEC championship. Alabama's going to go into it undefeated, and then they're going to lose to Georgia.
I thought you had them winning A&M, losing to A&M.
Oh yeah, I do. But that's the weird scenario.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the weird scenario.
Okay.
But even though I do that is my pick, but I'm just going to put that in the weird scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So I have UGA number 1, and then Clemson, and then Alabama, and then Wisconsin.
Okay. Okay, so UGA, Alabama, Wisconsin, and who else?
And Clemson.
Okay. So here's my four. I have Clemson getting the number 1 seed. I think they're going to go undefeated. That was my pick. I don't think they'll lose a game.
I think they'll lose.
Playing the number 4 seed, which is going to be Washington. Simply because they might lose one game, maybe to Auburn or something, simply because their conference is one of the weakest, other than the Big 12. My number 2 is Alabama.
Yes.
Playing number 3, Wisconsin.
Okay. So Alabama, Wisconsin, and Clemson, Washington. Okay, I can see that.
Here's my you want to do game picks?
Oh yeah, So I have UGA against Wisconsin, and then I don't want to sound biased, but I think it's going to be UGA, Wisconsin. Whoever wins that game, I think, is going to win the title.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to pick UGA.
And
so then it's Clemson, Alabama. Maybe a rematch, maybe Wisconsin. Alabama's running around.
I have
either Georgia or Wisconsin.
I think Clemson beats Washington. That'll be a very interesting game, though.
That'll be really interesting. Because... Yeah, Wisconsin.
I think I gotta say Bama beats Wisconsin. I have to.
You have to.
So Clemson and Bama in the championship again. You know what?
Clemson, Bama
It's
rematch.
It's Clemson's turn.
Third.
It's Clemson's turn. Let's give it to Clemson. All
Little
right.
brother's turn. All right.
Let's say Clemson's a little brother down there. Auburn's Clemson's little brother.
All right. Now the completely random, crazy, probably not going to happen scenario. My number one is Texas A&M
Oh wow.
because they beat Alabama and they
Wow.
won the SEC championship over South Carolina.
Okay.
And then my number two is Miami
Okay.
because they went undefeated in their conference and beat. I guess they beat Florida State. Because they probably wouldn't, even if this crazy thing did happen, they probably wouldn't beat Clemson. And then I have Penn State, who beat Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship. And then I just have a whole list of fourth places
All right,
as Notre Dame, Washington, Stanford, South Carolina, and Mississippi State. Not Mississippi, Michigan State.
Interesting. Okay.
So then I would have most likely Notre Dame against Texas A&M. And if A&M actually made it that far, they'd probably be the best team in the country by far. So I would pick them to
I don't
win
think that's going to
everything.
happen in their first year.
A&M against
That's
no, I know
actually-
this is
yeah,
why this is
yeah,
the
exactly.
hypothetical crazy. I would have Texas A&M against Miami in the national championship, and I would have Texas A&M win.
That would be nuts. That'd be
Amazing.
Crazy.
game.
All right. I think mine is even weirder.
All right, let's hear it.
Number one. So my
Okay.
number one seed is West Virginia.
Okay.
I think this is if they go undefeated, just dominate.
I just want
Is
to
if
point
they-
this out. Everybody, we can talk a lot about teams going undefeated at the beginning of the season, but last year there was one.
UCF.
UCF.
Nobody's gone.
No Power 5 team.
You know, no team has ever gone 15-0 either.
Yep, that's true.
So there you go.
So I mean that's what I'm saying that A&M would do.
Yeah, it's the national champion since the playoff has been around. Nobody's gone undefeated.
It's just crazy.
And most of these games have been like fluke games, like Pitt, Clemson. Who did Alabama?
Alabama lost to Ole Miss.
Yeah, and Auburn last year.
Who did Ohio State lose to?
Lost.
Was it? I think it was.
There was
was
a 4 seed.
I think it was
so-
Michigan State.
Yeah, it was Michigan State. I am pretty sure.
Correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah. My number 2 seed. This is a crazy one. Is Michigan. If Jim Harbaugh, if he can put it together finally,
Decent.
why
quarterback.
not? I mean, yeah. If Shea Patterson lives up to all the hype,
If he lives up to the hype, then they're national champions, no question. But I don't think he will. They're talking like he's like a
and they win
Tom Brady or something.
and they win the Big Ten. My number 3 would be. It's a split between two. I would be South Carolina or UGA, whoever wins that game.
So crazy would probably be
South Carolina, yeah. That was my extra one before I switched this around because it makes more sense. I switched 3 and 4 around from my original. Number 4 would be Michigan State.
Okay, so two
So
from
you
the
have
Big
like
Ten.
an Alabama Georgia scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would they both be in the championship? Would it be Michigan?
I would say West Virginia and Michigan.
But that's crazy. Think about this. If Michigan and Michigan State made it to the title,
Oh, that'd be cool.
it would be like the biggest rivalry game in history.
Or Ohio State and Michigan.
That's crazy.
Well, Big Ten hasn't scored a point in the playoff since Ohio State.
Since they won it.
Yeah, exactly. They
That's so sad.
didn't make it last year.
They
Uh,
got blown out
got
31
shut up.
nothing.
And year before that, same thing. I think it was
Which is
31
funny
nothing.
because
Michigan
that
State,
that year I picked Ohio State to win it by 9 points,
Really?
and they lost by 31.
Wow. Sad. All right.
That was fun. All right,
That was fun. That was
I
cool.
liked it.
All right. Okay. Completely off the wall. Like.
Yep.
Okay. Go quickly. Like. Most unlikely scenario.
Like least likely teams in the country to
Yes.
make it.
Yes.
Let's go Oregon State
Let's see. Okay.
and Bowling Green. Are they even FBS?
Yeah. They
Okay.
went 2 and 10.
Bowling Green, and then we're gonna pick Austin P.
Austin, they're FCS. Austin.
Who went? Oh, okay. How about the Thundering Herd?
Marshall.
And then who is? Oh wait, but they made a bowl game.
Marshall. Yeah.
Dang it.
So I'm gonna go. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do.
Akron.
Akron. Okay. I'm gonna go Oregon State because they are worse than a lot of FCS teams.
Wait, who's the team that went 0-12 last year? I know there was somebody.
UTEP.
UTEP. Okay, that's my fourth team. UTEP.
UTEP. Kansas won 3 games in their last 3 years. This coach is 3-33 there. That's terrible. Throw in a Kent State. They're like the worst program in America apparently. Ole Miss can't do it. Dang it. Let's not put Ole Miss in there. Arkansas. Nah, they beat most of these. Coastal Carolina.
He followed Coastal Carolina
For a while, back when they were in the FCS, and then they moved up to FBS, and they were like 2-10 last year. They almost beat Arkansas though.
Sad
They nearly beat Arkansas. I think that's 4, isn't it? Kent.
I don't know. That was crazy.
All right, yeah.
UTEP.
10 minutes.
UTEP wins the championship.
Oh, that's
self,
awesome.
and then so does UCF again. Self-declared.
Yeah, they win it again. Yeah.
No, and then after UTEP wins, Alabama self-declares themselves.
So can any team just self-declare themselves champions if they want to?
I mean, they can, and people won't buy it.
Well, I know, but like.
But they can.
But they can.
If they deserve it.
Honor it, like have that in their records as a school. Because I know a lot of teams have like claimed national champions.
Well, they used to do that. That's how they.
Yeah, but it's not that way. It's not that anymore. I mean,
no.
Well, I mean, they had like the polls, and those would be the official national championships. But like, Georgia Tech has something like 12 claimed national championships. Only 4 of them are legit.
And so does Alabama. Alabama has a lot more.
It was like 17, something crazy.
They have like 18, but they actually only have like 12.
Yeah. All right.
Sounds fun. All right. As always, but not really. As always, goodbye.
All right. Dang, didn't make it 12 minutes.
It would be even shorter.